We're on the north coast of Cornwall, which is like down in the southwest of England, like the very, very bottom. It's probably like -8 outside right now with a wind chill. It's very, very, very cold down here. Like, I've been putting off making this video recently for so damn long. I don't know if it's because I'm like scared to make it. I went out yesterday super early, went to record this video, went down the beach super, super, super early. Like, it's freezing cold. I found this like awesome spot, walked for ages, went to set up the camera and realized I forgot a memory card. And then today I've gone all the way down the beach again, realized I forgot my phone, which I use to plug my microphone into. So I haven't got a mic, which is why I was sat in the car. If you religiously follow my stuff, you probably would have worked this one out, or you probably would have like got the gist of things from an older video that I did. Recently, I've been feeling fucking shit, and I mean like really shit, like worse than I've ever felt in my entire life. So probably the last quarter of the year, I've been really, really struggling with feeling like absolute crap and feeling depressed and just generally like having a hatred for everything in life. And it kind of like reflected in my content as well. Like, I wasn't really making stuff. One, because I got no joy out of making any content or doing anything at all. Two, because I didn't want to be positive and like spread like a cool ass message and be like upbeat and happy and people to watch it, like motivate people. If I'm super depressed, it's not really doing that. Like, I remember watching something like this maybe a few years ago. I can't remember who it was, I can't really remember when it was, but it's basically just some guy on YouTube going on about depression and all this shit. And I was like, bro, you have like 100,000 subscribers, how could you ever feel like that, man? It's like really fucking weird. Like, even though I have like 50k subs, I could fill up an arena or a stadium with that. It's like, it doesn't make any difference, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like, it's just numbers on a screen, you know? I know it isn't, but it just feels like that, so it makes absolutely no difference to your state of mind, your mindset. I've never had this before. Like, it was so weird. Like, nothing, and I mean nothing at all, would bring me any joy. Nothing in life at that period of time would make me happy. Things would make me feel normal. So if I went to a gym, that would make me feel normal. But obviously I had to get to a gym when I felt like absolute shit and didn't want to do anything. But like, nothing at all made me happy or brought me any joy. When you get no happiness from anything and like absolutely everything in your life feels like complete shit, it's really, really difficult to be happy, if you know what I mean. I think it kind of all started when my car broke. So this isn't going to apply to everyone, so this is just my personal experience. I live in a small town in Cornwall and I thrive, like, I mean, I absolutely thrive off like working hard, absolutely busting my balls, living off no sleep, being successful, seeing successes in my life. Like, that's what kind of gives me like that natural high and that buzz that I live for. Like, anything, whether it's like new PRs at the gym, gaining so much subscribers, getting like good feedback and content, making something go viral. Like, I just live for like working hard and like getting that natural buzz and feedback. My car broke at the end of summer in the best vlog ever, Bald Masters vlog. Watched that last night. It's so fucking good. So I didn't have any transport because I live in a small town. I don't have a car. I was effectively isolated, stuck in the same room for like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The only time I'd leave my room was to walk a 3-hour round trip to the gym to train on my own. And the walks to the gym absolutely fucked up my leg. Like, my knee and my leg was screwed. Like, some of you guys will know that I have arthritis and lymphedema in my leg, and all that walking was absolutely crippling me. So I was like finding it hard to walk and to move around. I was going to the gym to train alone. Don't really have any friends down here either, so I was literally sat in my room on my own for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a walk to the gym, and that was the only thing I did in the day. The only time I left the house was to walk the same path to a gym to train on my own. Boo fucking who, everyone feels so sorry for me. But I think that was kind of the cause of it. And because I was on my own, because my knee was really bad, I couldn't really walk or train properly, and I was just absolutely hating everything. I stopped making YouTube content, which is like what I do and love to do. I stopped filming, I stopped making any kind of content. I stopped reading, I stopped getting up early, I stopped listening to podcasts. So I just get up and I'd have no motivation, absolutely zero motivation to do anything. All I do was just sit there and scroll through social media feeds, literally doing absolutely nothing, and then go to a gym when I could, walk back from a gym, and then for the rest of the night, sit there feeling like I wanted to cry, scrolling through social media feeds and Twitter feeds. So I let my life get to that, and that made me really, really depressed. And I think the main thing was for me as well, is I like work so hard on becoming a better person, developing your mindset. Like, I think growth is like the meaning of life. The ability to grow and like change things and improve things is like literally what I live for. So the fact that I could see my mindset deteriorating and things that wouldn't necessarily bother me were really bothering me, like I was becoming I was falling back into the old habits and becoming the person that I once was, because I wasn't doing my morning routine, I wasn't reading, I wasn't educating myself, I wasn't learning, like absolutely killed me inside. So it's the fact that I was becoming something that I used to be, that I'd like evolved out of, I was like de-evolving into something, that made me feel like really, really, really shit. So like things like, if stuff happens in my life, things don't really affect me. So events, I used to be a very reactive person. Like, I used to have very, very bad anger issues as a kid. I had to go to like counseling. I used to break shit, I used to smash shit, I used to cry all the time, I used to get upset all the time over like stupid things. And like through like self-education and self-development, like I just like kind of like learn to let it go and don't really give a fuck about things. Like for example, my drone is a prime example. That's funny. Another one is I went out the night before last and lost like a £200 pair of sunglasses, but like literally they're gone, man. Nothing's gonna change it. Not for 1 second was I like, oh no, my sunglasses. I was just like, oh fuck, that's kind of funny. Lost them, they're gone. So I'd like develop my mindset and that kind of attitude that everything happens for a reason. You are able to control your response to things. So you might not be able to directly control your emotions, but you can control the way you perceive things, the way you think about things. So in turn, you can manipulate your emotions and not get so reactive. You are responsible. You're responsible for your actions. You're able to respond to the way you feel about things. So in the last few years since I've been doing that, I'd grown massively. In a period of a few months of not training my brain like a muscle, like not reading those books, not putting that information in, I lost absolutely everything. I felt like I lost it all. I felt like I'd gone back to the start, and I generally just hated life. I'm not gonna kill myself, but I did think how I would kill myself, and like kind of sat down and thought about it. I would never plan to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and do this because I have a family and sisters. I think it's a bit selfish. I've got other people in my life that love me and I just think it's a bit selfish. So I never said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, but I thought about how to do it. I probably shouldn't say this. Don't go and kill yourself like I say, because I probably feel like quite a bad person. I think I'd go diving and then like tie all my hoses up or cut my hoses when I'm like 40, 50 meters down, and then just take the tank off my back and just like throw it out into the abyss, and then probably straight away like regret that decision, like scramble to the tank and then die like a really horrible death. So luckily I didn't do that. But yeah, the thoughts went through my head. I was probably like the lowest I'd ever felt in my entire life. Like I felt like I was crippled. My knee was getting me down, my leg was getting me down, all this shit. I didn't have a car, I was massively in debt, I didn't have any money, I had to borrow money from my parents, moved out of my own place back in with my parents to where I wouldn't see any of my friends or anything like that. The house has no hot water. I was literally just living like an empty fucking meaningless life, and it just really, 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 really getting to me. I think the thing with me that kind of saved me in this part and like helped me get back on my feet was I haven't really been that type of person that kind of doesn't do things because they're too embarrassed to do them. Like I know so many guys that would never even speak about stuff like this because they are like too embarrassed to talk about it to someone else, because it might make them seem like emasculine. And like honestly, like, I'm not just saying this is some cheesy like fucking video. Speaking about shit to people, like whatever it is, if something bothers you, the reason I don't have arguments with a lot of people is because if something bothers me, I'll just tell them. And when I do have arguments with people, is because I haven't told them like straight up, just to be like honest with people. So like being able to like chat to Millie and shit, and I spoke to my mum and shit, and just saying like I felt like absolute shit and spoke to her about it and like how much I was hating life, like really, really, really helped me and like helped me get out of that. So like don't keep shit to yourself. Like honestly, like just get over yourself. Like even if you have to make a joke about it, you know, just tell someone or just speak to someone about your shit. What got to me was moderate discomfort. If you're in like absolutely agonizing pain, let's say when my leg was fucked up when I was in hospital and all I wanted to do was be able to walk and run again, that's like severe pain, severe discomfort. If you have like moderate discomfort where your life just kind of sucks, that's like the most lethal thing, like where you're just about getting by but you fucking hate your life, like you don't have enough motivation to change because you're not in that much pain and everything just sucks, you like slip into depression. That's like the worst thing for me. So I had to really remember why I started things. Why did I originally want to go to the gym? Why was I training? Like how far I'd come, like what did I want out of life? Will I be happy continuing on the path like I was going down, if that makes sense? So will I be happy living the rest of my life in my dad's house with no car, feeling like this? I was like, hell no. So I planned to kill myself. No, I'm joking. So I had to get back on track. So I started doing those morning routines, developing my mindset again, reading, going out more, and just like really sorting my fucking life out. I'll do a video on it soon if you want a morning routine video. I started filming one, okay? That lack of stimulus in my life was what got to me and what killed me. Like people aren't meant to have like food put on the table for them and just sit watching TV for like 6 hours a day, go to work, do some like meaningless tasks. That's not how people are meant to live. Like think about fucking cavemen, for example, had to go out at a massive adrenaline rush, hunt their food, do loads of physical exercise, didn't know where their next meal was going to come from, like loads and loads of like stimulus on them, like constantly like causing their brain to work. And then things like today and like now, like, and then me, for example, I'm just sat there all day doing nothing, and I've got like that primal brain that needs to be like under stress, under pressure, needs to have like problems to solve, or I feel like absolute crap. So I think the lack of doing shit and lack of work and lack of activity is like a massive contributing factor to this. Like, just doing nothing, my brain, like, I don't know about you, but my brain needs to do shit. I thrive off that hard work, that natural high, that like living with a purpose, like doing something towards a direction. Like, if you're just sat there working for the purpose of acquiring money in which your expenses are going to match your income ultimately, no matter how much money you're earning, like, what the fuck's the point, you know? Going off on a bit of a tangent. But yeah, basically, I started reading again, started reading self-development books, self-development podcasts. Like, I absolutely love that shit, and that's like had a massive impact on my mindset. You just have to go into those things with an open mind. Started a gratitude journal. So every day I'd write down 3 things that I was grateful for, 3 things that I wanted to get out of today, and a quote saying like, I am this, I am that, I am fucking a shredded sick cunt, bruh. I do that every morning, and then every evening I look at how I could have made the day better, what I could have done to improve it, and I do that every day. I read, go for a morning walk, and got back on training, remembered why I started training, the purpose as to why I train, for health, to get strong as fuck, to get shredded as fuck, to get bitches. Just really put 110% effort in the gym, releasing those endorphins, getting like that natural high, and just getting up early again. Like, for me, like, I hope this video wasn't too sad and depressing, because I don't like making sad and depressing videos. Like, as you see, why, as I just said, why I wasn't making videos, because I don't like making sad and depressing shit. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that. Just wanted to say that I had fucking crippling clinical depression, wanted to kill myself and jump off a fucking bridge. But I didn't do that, luckily, so we're all good. When I was like at that very, very low point, like, the thing for me was there's always people in your life that love you and care about you, you know? Like, if I had absolutely no one in my life, like, it would have been a lot tougher. And like, if you're in that situation, like, you're fucking kidding. If you're in that situation, obviously there's people you can speak to on the phone and shit. I'm sure it's not to be some like cheesy ass, like, don't do it. I never thought I'd feel like that. And literally out of nowhere, just through some unfortunate events in my life, I felt like everything was shit. Everything was shit. No motivation, nothing. I just hated life and hated everything. And I love life now, so we're all good. But yeah, absolutely love life now. Wake up every morning, and like, you should just be happy to be alive. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, you forget that, like, so many people, you just gotta look at things from a different perspective. You get so comfortable and so used to living how you're living right now that you don't take things for granted. Like, even your prior self might love to have what you have right now, but because you've got it, you take it for granted, you're on to the next thing. So it's important to reflect, important to be like grateful for what you have, and just to put things in perspective. Like, right now, how many of you guys watching this are in like good physical health, as in you don't have a degenerative, incurable condition in your leg that's gonna like one day cripple you, like me? But even though I have that, I don't give a fuck, because I can still run, I can still walk, I'm not in a wheelchair, and if I was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't be paralyzed from my neck down. If I was paralyzed from my neck down, I might still be able to talk and do other shit, and I might just be grateful to be alive. But or I might just kill myself because I'm paralyzed from my neck down. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day when I get paralyzed from my neck down in a terrible motorbike accident, we'll know that. But anyway, appreciate things, love life. Just remember, nothing lasts forever. Like, every problem has a solution. You can solve things. And cheers for tuning in to my depression video. Peace out, guys. I love you. I'll tell you what is absolute bliss for me. Like, when things in your life happen that like you would ruin your day, would ruin your week, or would ruin your year, and those things no longer bother you, that's like when you're in like a good place or in a good state of mind. Like, I just want to, like, if something isn't going to bother you in 1 year's time or 10 years time, why should you give a fuck about it? Like, na 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 na. See me, baby, be a fucking tune.